Back at Bream Park in Marion, Illinois, it's Dave McKenzie. This is game number 9 of the Colt World Series, as Covina, California, will be the home team here on today's day as they take the game as they take on Greensboro.
Leading off the first inning for Greensboro, North Carolina, the left fielder.
We're ready to go. Leading off for Greensboro, it's going to be left fielder Noah Lee. He's going to be facing the starting pitcher from Covina, California. That is Jake Vargas. And we are underway at 11:02 on a Sunday morning. Pitch was outside for a ball. Here's the pitch from Vargas. Line foul down the right field line into the seats. Going to be a warm day in southern Illinois. Humidity's up just a little bit today. Yesterday afternoon, especially in the game featuring Netherlands and Brownsville, we saw that the heat got to a couple of the players, saw them cramping up. Hydration is the key as a ground ball to short. The throw across is in time for Rasmussen to Munoz. And Noah Lee is retired for the first out here in the game.
Third baseman, number 1, Cody Danelle.
Approaching the plate, third baseman, number 1, Cody Danelle for Greensboro. Yesterday, Danelle struck out the first time, walked in the second, and then singled in the third. First pitch to Danelle is in there for a strike from Jake Vargas. Greensboro, North Carolina, the East champions to qualify for the World Series here at Rent 1 Park. Pitch is in there for strike 2. 0-2 quickly on Cody Danelle. Greensboro's won 1 Colt World Series. That was way back in 1965. Here's the 0-2 pitch outside for a ball. Also, they took home the 1966-1968 Pony World Series, the 14U title, as well as the 1994 Palomino 18U World Series championship. This pitch is driven to the hole. It's short, knocked down by Rasmussen. But it's going to be a single for Cody Danelle. Man, he hit that one right on the button. So Danelle's at first, and that's going to bring up center fielder C.J. Johnson. Johnson, in his game, his first time up yesterday, he tripled, walked, and then walked in the third inning as well. He comes to the plate. Where's number 22? Hits from the left side. Here's as Vargas throws to first to check on Cody Danelle. C.J. Johnson, been nursing a sore ankle in the first 2 days. He hurt it in the first game as he tripled and got up limping a little bit on that left ankle. Eventually, he had to leave the game when he was pitching, but he was able to play yesterday in the game. Seems to be okay today. Not saying it's not sore, but he seems like he's okay. Johnson stands on the left side of the batter's box, opens up the stance. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Vargas. Outside as Danelle takes off, and he's in safely at second base. Danelle with the stolen base and puts himself in scoring position here in the top of the first inning. As catcher Luke Willison wants to talk to his pitcher, Jake Vargas, make sure their signs are good, I'm sure. Get things squared away there. A little bit later start than we had yesterday at Rent 1 Park. 9 o'clock was the first game on Saturday. And again, we have games today at 11, 1:30, 4, and 6:30. If you'd like to come out and watch these games in action, if you're watching on the live stream, wherever you're at, whether you're in North Carolina or if you're in California or anywhere around the globe, we appreciate you tuning in today. We'll have all of the games in this tournament. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Vargas. Curves in there, gets the outside corner 67-mile-an-hour curveball. Count now 1-2 on C.J. Johnson. Here's the 1-2 from Jake Vargas. Swung on a miss, and C.J. Johnson strikes out for the second out here in this game. It's going to bring up Isiah Hairston. Hairston, the first baseman, wears number 7. He also hits from the left side. Yesterday, Hairston had an RBI single in the first, singled in the second, and hit into fielder's choice in the third. He drives this one up the middle. Second baseman's going to handle it. It's Munoz to Salahai for the third out. So no damage done here in the top of the first inning by Greensboro, North Carolina. Covina, California, the West Zone champs. They're up next. You're watching the 2018 Colt World Series.
In your neighborhood and all over our world.
We're in the bottom of the first inning here, leading off for Covina, California. Leadoff man, right fielder Nen Burns. He made a dandy catch yesterday down the right field line on a pop foul that he bobbled about 3 times before he was able to haul it in. Burns hits from the right side. In last night's contest, Burns, he walked in the first, flew out in the third, in the 5th, and in the 9th. Went 0 for 4 in the contest. A 1-2 pitch is grounded foul to the left side here in his first at bat against Greensboro, North Carolina. Covina, California, just a little short trip from Marion, Illinois, about 1,901 miles. The 1-2 pitch from Tyler Lamar. His hit in the air to left. He got all of this. It's going to be gone. The first home run over the fence here at Rent-One Park in this Colt World Series, and it hit comes off the bat of right fielder Nin Burns as he drove it over the left field fence. There was nothing that Lee could do but watch as it hits over. Nin Burns with the first home run for Covina, California, and they lead it 1-0. He got every bit of that one. Thought we might see a few more home runs here, but that's the first one, and it comes in game number 9 of the tournament here at Rent-One Park. Nin Burns with the home run. That brings up Jake Vargas, the pitcher. Number 14 hits from the right side.
Boys, please bring that baseball to the visiting dugout on the third base side.
Here at the Pony League, they don't have an unlimited supply of baseballs for any ball that's hit out of the field of play. They have them bring back, and they give away Dick's Sporting Good gift certificates, $10 for every one that's brought back. And that will continue here today. Dick's Sporting Goods, one of the corporate sponsors of Pony Baseball around the country. 2-0 pitch now to Jake Vargas is on the way. It's hit on the ground foul down the third baseline. So Vargas, in last night's game against Seoul, South Korea, flew out in the first inning. He walked in the third, flew out to center, and then grounded out in the 7th inning, 0 for 4. As the pitch is in there, 3-1, or a ball rather, takes the count to 3-1 on Vargas. Tyler Lamar, the pitcher for Greensboro. This one's fouled off to the right side as Vargas hangs in there. Count now full, 3-2. On the starting pitcher for Covina, California. Holds the bat high. Looks at the third strike, called strike on the inside corner. He strikes out looking, and that's the first out here for the boys from Cali. The catcher, Luke Willison, makes his way to the plate. Hits from the right side, one down here in the bottom of the first. Willison, he singled in the first, doubled in the fourth, and then singled in the sixth. Went 3 for 3 yesterday in the game against Seoul, South Korea, and that's a game in which Covina got beat 6-2. It was a good ball game as the 0-1 pitch is inside, evens the count at 1-1. Population in Covina, California, about 48,500 and so. That was as of 2016. Used to be the 3rd largest producer of oranges in the United States. That was way back in 1909, but with the population explosion in California, they've seen a lot of those vineyards go away. Beautiful area out there. Have to visit sometime. Located adjacent to the San Gabriel Mountains. Here's the 2-2 pitch. It's low. Runs the count 3-2 now to Luke Willison. Strike. Oh, Willison thought it was low, but the home plate umpire says, nope, that was a strike. And so 2 batters in a row strike out looking here for Covina, California in this first inning.
Now batting, first baseman, number 44, Malik Salahi.
First baseman Malik Salahi comes to the plate. Swings at the first one, low, and counts 0-1. He hits from the right side, the 0-1 pitch inside for a ball. Salahi playing at first base to start this game. Looks at ball outside, 2-1 now. Here's the 2-1 pitch from Tyler Lamar. Bounces it in. Runs the count to 3-1. 3-1 pitch. A little bit high, so Salahi walks. That brings up the third baseman, Tyler Lokar, who steps in to the left side of the plate. 2 down, 1-0. Covina on the home run from Nin Burns. First pitch is high to Lokar. Tyler goes to Covina High School, a junior, 16 years old. As a catcher, Brady wants to talk to his pitcher. And at the same time, Lokar will head over and talk to his manager, Richard Graciano, up the third base line. Seems like all these Cali boys are either Angels fans or Dodgers fans, which makes sense. Clayton Kershaw, his favorite player, likes science in school, and he does plan on going to Cal State Fullerton. Maybe USC or UCLA as well. All of those programs, strong baseball programs. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Lokar. A little bit high as well, 2-0. Salahi is at first base after the walk. Tyler Marr, the left-hander. That one's fouled off. Count down 2-1. Rentwood Park, beautiful facility. We love our facility here. 320 down the left field line. 400 to straightaway center field. 325 at right field foul pole. 375 in the power alleys. That one's outside. Runs the count 3-1. Synthetic turf. And very happy to be able to host the Colt World Series. Thanks to manager Mike Pinto and CEO Mike Pinto, sorry. As ground ball through the right side, that's a single for Lokar. And now Covina has 2 runners on as Salahi heads to second. Lokar's at first, and that's going to bring up the left fielder for Covina, California.
Now batting, left fielder, number 3, Tristen
Pableo, the left fielder, wears number 3. Bats from the right side. Here's the first pitch from Lamar, a little bit high to Pableo. Runs a count to 1-0. 1-0 pitch. Inside, doesn't catch that inside corner. Count 2-0 now to Pableo. Yesterday's game, singled in the second, grounded out and then struck out. As we have timeout called once again. By Greensboro, North Carolina. Their skipper, Brett Garrett, comes out to talk to Tyler Lamar. And already we have ball players that are heading to the bullpen in right center field. So Brett Garrett says, gives him a pat on the shoulder and says, okay, here, let's go. Here in Pony League, they're on a pretty strict tight pitch count. So everybody's reset. Tristan Pableo at the plate, facing a 2-0 count. Swung on and missed from Pableo. 73-mile-an-hour pitch from Tyler Lamar. 2-1 the count. Pitch outside, runs the count 3-1. So 2 on for Covina with 2 outs. And Tristan Pableo walks as well. That's 2 walks issued by Tyler Lamar. Bases are going to be loaded now for
second baseman, number 24, Chris Munoz.
excuse me, 3 base walks issued. Chris Munoz, the second baseman, steps in from the right side, fouls off the first pitch just below us here at Rentwood Park. Not much of a breeze blowing today That home run by Nin Burns, that was all power as he drove it over the fence in left field. Here's the 0-1 pitch, fouled back right where the first foul ball went. 0-2 quickly on Chris Munoz. Chris, a junior, 16 years old. Lives in Covina, California, takes a ball inside and attends South Hills High School in California. Likes Jose Altuve. I do too. As he swings at the outside pitch and a strikeout of Munoz. That's the third out here in the bottom of the first inning. So the West Zone champs Covina, they lead at 1-0 on the home run from Nin Burns. Greensboro, North Carolina is coming up. Leading off for Greensboro, shortstop number 6, Isiah Rem. Rem yesterday in the contest against Mexico struck out in the first, walked in the second, fouls off the first pitch he sees here today. He also struck out in the 4th inning and then flew out in the 6th inning. So 0 for 4 yesterday. Faces an 0-1 pitch here inside for a ball. Here's the 1-1 from Jake Vargas. A little bit low for a ball. Here's the 2-1 pitch. On the way. Popped in the air. Short center field coming on, though, is Robles as he makes the catch for the first out here in the top of the 2nd inning. Justin Brady, the catcher, he strides to the plate. He's going to hit from the left side. 1 out here in the top of the 2nd inning. It's Dave McKenzie with game number 9 of the Colt World Series here at Rent-One Park. Thank you for tuning in. First pitch is popped straight up. The catcher, Willison, has to find it, but it falls behind the netting and into the 2nd row just below us here. Justin Brady, the catcher for Greensboro. He's a senior at Northeast Guilford High School, lives in Gibsonville, North Carolina, hits from the left side. The 0-1 pitch, a little bit low for ball 1. Favorite player was Derek Jeter, mine too. Ozzie Smith and Derek Jeter were mine. He likes DJ, I'll take that. Here's the 1-1 pitch, inside, hits Brady, and he's going to take his base. Second base runner for Greensboro here in the game. It's going to bring up the designated hitter, Derek Martinez. He wears number 11. He also hits from the left side for Greensboro.
Correction, Martinez. Thank you.
So 1 runner on here in the 2nd. First pitch is outside to Martinez. Derek Martinez, he's 15 years old. Lives in Greensboro, North Carolina. As Brady is able to steal second base, got a good jump. The throw was there, but not in time. So Brady puts himself in scoring position for Greensboro. Martinez, Yankees fan, and he also likes Derek Jeter. Says when he grows up, he wants to be a Aroldis Chapman. Is that even possible? He takes the ball high, count 2-1 here to the left-handed hitting designated hitter, Derek Martinez. Runner in scoring position. He stands at second base. That is Justin Brady, the catcher, gets his lead. Here's the 2-1 pitch from Jake Vargas from the stretch. Inside and in the dirt. 3-1. Martinez, some of his hobbies, he likes to futz around with the Rubik's Cube. Saw a couple of those around the ballpark yesterday. Here's the pitch, a little bit high, and Martinez walks, so 2 on now.
Now batting, the right fielder,
Justin Brady
number 9.
was hit by a pitch. Derek Martinez walks. That's going to bring up Luke Jenkins, the right fielder, and there's a conference taking place at the mound. Richard Graciano, the manager of Covina, wants to talk to his pitcher, Jake Vargas. He's wiping off his arm, maybe having some grip issues out there as it's 86 degrees here in game time, about 30 minutes ago. Supposed to see a high of around 89, I believe, today. And there is a chance of some afternoon thunderstorms. Hopefully they'll stay away and won't affect us here. The nice thing about weather at Rent One Park, the only thing that can stop us is lightning. Of course, heavy rain. They're not going to play in heavy rain, but if it's a light rain, we've done that with the Southern Illinois Miners. They're on the road this weekend. They wrap up their series at Windy City this afternoon at 2:05. They hit the road for Friday-Saturday series as the first pitch to Jenkins is in there for a strike. 2 on in front of Jenkins. Miners will be home to play this week. Doubleheader on Tuesday, I believe. I have to check the schedule and make sure I get that right as Jenkins fouls off the pitch. Has an 0-2 count now. Last night after the game, Tegan Marie put on a concert down in the hot corner area. She was awesome. Did a fantastic job on the national anthem as Brady's able to slide back in head first on the pickoff move by Vargas, trying to keep him close. Don't let him get too big of a jump. Shortstop Rasmussen staying right behind him, keeping him close. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Grounded. And that is Vargas that gets it, and he runs over and tags the bag on his own for the outs. So Jenkins grounds out. 2 outs here in the top of the second. Devon Hawkins, the second baseman, makes his way toward the plate, hands the bat to Luke Jenkins as he walks by. And Jenkins can go get him a drink of water before he heads back out to the mound for the bottom of the second. Brady advanced to third on the ground outs. Martinez advanced to second on the ground out. So both are in scoring position. Single should score 2. And here is Devon Hawkins. Hawkins' first pitch a little bit high. Hawkins in the game last night. Yesterday, rather. Walked in the second, grounded out in the third, in the fifth, and in the seventh. He grounds this one through the hole on the left side. That is going to score 1. That's Brady. And Martinez is held at third after the RBI single by Devon Hawkins. Drives home Justin Brady, and this game is tied at 1 here in the top of the second. Martinez stands at third, and that's going to bring us to the top of the order. And the gentleman that to the top of the order, the left fielder, that is Noah Lee. Hits from the right side, first and third for Greensboro. Pitch a little bit high, and Hawkins is able to easily steal second base with no throw. So both runners back in scoring position. 1-1 game. Nen Burns hit a home run to lead off the game for Covina, California. Just presented that baseball in between innings. First home run hit out here at Rent 1 in the tournament. Slow curveball, 66 in there for a strike. The count now is 1-1 to Noah Lee. Jake Vargas from the stretch. The 1-1 pitch. Lined into right center field. That's going to go all the way to the wall. It's going to score 2 as Martinez comes in. Hawkins scores, and Noah Lee is going to stop at third with a stand-up triple. And 2 RBIs to his name in this game here early on. So now it's 3-1 Greensboro.
Now batting, third baseman, number 1, Cody Danelle.
Cody Danelle, first time up in the first inning, he singled, stole a base. Third baseman wears number 1, hits from the right side, and Noah Lee is in scoring position, 90 feet away, standing on third base. Pitch is swung on and missed from Danelle. So Vargas has already thrown 32 pitches, and we're still in the top of the second inning with 1 out. As Danelle steps out, defensively it's Pableo, Robles, Burns, left to right in the outfield. Lokar, Rasmussen, Munoz, and Salahi at first, left to right. As the pitch gets away from Willison, but he's able to corral it, and Noah Lee stays at third base. 3-1 here in the top of the second. Sharply hit line drive to right center, went all the way to the wall. That allowed Noah Lee to speed around the bases. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Danelle. Swung on and missed. Counts 1-2 now. Two outs. Top of the second. Strikes him out for the third out of the inning. As we head to the bottom of the second, it's Greensboro, North Carolina 3, Covina, California 2. It's the bottom of the second inning here at the Colt World Series. Dave McKenzie at Rent One Park. As it's going to be the shortstop, Anthony Rasmussen, that leads off the second for Covina. They find themselves down 3-1 here in the second inning. 3 runs scored by Greensboro in the second. And Rasmussen takes the 1 ball and fouls off the second, evens up the count 1-1. 3 runs in the second inning. On 2 hits. He singles out toward left field on a line, little looper, right in front of Lee in left field. So Rasmussen is on first. And that's going to bring up Jarrod Robles. Robles plays center field, whereas number 8 hits from the left side. With Rasmussen on first, takes the first pitch for a strike. It catches the inside corner. Outfield straight away. Infield at double play depth as they check on Rasmussen at first with the throw. The 0-1 pitch tries to bunt it down the third base line, and it goes foul. So that's going to bring Rasmussen back to first base. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Driven down the right side. I think it's going to go out of play as it hits right on the deck, right next to the hot corner. Presented by Buffalo Wild Wings here at Rent One Park. 3,400 chair seats at Rent One. Have lawn seating for over 2,000. The hot corner entertainment area is what a cool place. Great food, great beverages. They've got games you can play. If kids can play cornhole, ping pong, whatever. But it's also a fantastic place just to watch the game as you're up top and overlooking the stadium as the 0-2 pitch is outside for a ball. There's a mini golf course here at Rent 1, a 10-hole mini golf course. It's very awesome, baseball-oriented, of course. 3 concession stands. The fun zone as Robles strikes out swinging on a 75-mile-an-hour fastball. That's the first out here for Covina in the bottom of the second. Back to the top of the order. And the man that homered to lead off this game, Nen Burns, the first home run hit out at Rent 1 during this tournament. He hits from the right side. The only run scored on that home run from Burns as they check on Rasmussen at first. Tyler Lamar is ready. Catches the outside corner. 75-mile-an-hour fastball. 0-1 to Nen Burns. Here in Pony League, between pitches, players must keep one foot in the batter's box. As Burns pops this one up on the left side, and that's going to be handled by Ram. He makes the catch in short left field. There's 2 outs. Jake Vargas, the pitcher, he steps in, stands toward the front of the batter's box. First pitch is outside as Rasmussen stays at first base on that pop fly, not deep enough to tag up and make his way to second. The 1-0 pitch, a little bit low, 2-0. Catcher is on deck, that's Luke Willison. He struck out his first time up. Pitch in there for a strike. 2 balls, 1 strike on Vargas. Pitch is in the dirt at the catcher's feet, but not far enough away. Again, that's Rasmussen can take off for second, so he backtracks, stands on the bag. Right next to Hairston, the first baseman from Greensboro. The 3-1 pitch to Vargas. Outside, and he's gonna head to first base after the walk. 2 on now. Rasmussen is on second. Vargas the runner at first. Here's the catcher, Luke Willison. Last time up, Willison struck out looking. So an opportunity for Covina here in the bottom of the second. Pitch catches the inside corner for a strike. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Lamar. Same spot right there, strike 2. 75-mile-an-hour fastball. The 0-2 pitch outside for a ball. 1-2 now to Willison. That ball's on a line to left field. Here comes Rasmussen around. The throw was not handled by the catcher. And so a double for Willison on the throw. Rasmussen scores, makes it 3-2. Vargas is standing on third, and Luke Willison with the single, and then heads to second on the throw. So runners at second and third now for Covina, California. And Malik Salahai is the batter from the right side. He walked his first time up. Looks at a pitch a little bit low for ball 1. Two on, 2 out. That ball's hit right back to the pitcher as Lamar throws over to Hairston for the 3rd out. But Covina gets on the board with another one here in the second. Greensboro, North Carolina leads 3-2 as we head to the top of the 3rd. It's the Colt World Series. For the hits from the left side, Johnson playing center field here in today's contest. Here's the pitch from Vargas, a little bit outside for ball one to C.J. Johnson. One ball, no strike pitch. Outside, way high, 2-0. You throwing the strike, C.J. Johnson, he can hit it. He's got 2 triples in this tournament so far. Has an open stance, swings, drives this one in the air towards center field as Robles, it's going to be taken by the left fielder. That's Pableo. And C.J. Johnson is 0 for 2 in the game so far. First out here in the 3rd inning. Isiah Hairston, the first baseman, steps in. Grounded out to second, back in the 1st. 3-2, Greensboro, they lead the game over Covina as Vargas fires. And Hairston fouls that one off to the left. No balls, 1 strike to Hairston. Checks his swing at the ball low, and the count now 1-1. Nobody on here in the top of the 3rd. Pitch from Vargas, hit on the ground, and it just eats up Isiah at first base, and winds up in right field. So Hairston has a single on a hard hit ground ball to the right side. And Isaiah Rem will be the batter. Flew out to left field back in the 2nd inning. So something brewing once again for Greensboro, North Carolina. As Vargas slows down, works from the stretch. That one catches the outside corner, 81-mile-an-hour fastball from Vargas. The 0-1 pitch outside and low for a ball. Evens the count at 1-1. Pitch from Vargas, the 1-1 on the way. Driven right back up the middle. Shortstop is right there. Steps on second, across to first. And Rasmussen completes the double play, 6-3. So we head to the bottom of the 3rd. It's 3-2, Greensboro, North Carolina at the Colt World Series. Welcome back to Rent One Park. It's Dave McKenzie with coverage of your Colt World Series. This is game number 9 of the tournament between Greensboro and North Carolina. Well, right now, Greensboro holds a 3-2 lead, but Covina coming to the plate here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. It'll be Lokar, Pableo, and Munoz to lead things off. If anybody gets on, Rasmussen and Robles. Tyler Lokar, the 3rd baseman, he walked his first time up. He skies this one foul down the left side on the first pitch from Tyler Lamar. Lamar, the left-hander. Pitch is outside for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Not a huge crowd here for this morning game. 2 teams that have traveled a long way. California, 1,900 miles away. 650 miles from Greensboro, North Carolina. But from each coast, all meeting here at Rent One Park as the ball's about 50 feet from Lamar. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Driven on a line to shortstop, and that is Rem that gobbles that one up for the first out. Lines out to short for the first out here in the bottom of the 3rd. It's going to be left.
For Covina, California, number 42, Montes, Reyes.
Number 42 for Covina, pinch hitting here in the contest. That is Andres Reyes. He's hitting for Pableo. So he hits here in the bottom of the third with an 0-2 count. Reyes hits from the right side, wears a white helmet. Pitch is in there. He looks at third strike. 2 down now on the strikeout by Tyler Lamar.
Second baseman, number 24.
That's the 5th strikeout for Lamar. 63 pitches so far in the contest. So Chris Munoz, the second baseman, he's due up next. Hits from the right side as the ball's a little bit low for ball 1. Chris Munoz, a 16-year-old junior with South Hills High School in Covina, California. He pops this one off to the right side as first baseman Hairston gives it chase, but looks up, watch the ball hit into the seats to our right, down the right field line. 3-2 here in the bottom of the third inning. If you missed it earlier, we had our first home run hit out of the park at Brent 1 by the leadoff man, Nen Burns. This ball's hit towards second on the ground. 2 hops, throws it over, and the third out is recorded by Tompkins to Hairston. We're heading to the top of the 4th inning. He was hit by a pitch back in the second. Justin is a senior at Northeast Guilford High School in Gibsonville, North Carolina. He drives this one toward right field. Burns is on his horse. He's back and makes the catch just short of the warning track in right center field. The ball was hit a long way. Burns went a long way, and a nice catch to retire the catcher, Justin Brady. The first outs recorded here in the top of the 4th. That's going to bring up the designated hitter, Derek Martinez. Hits from the left side. Takes a pitch outside for ball 1. Martinez lives in Greensboro, North Carolina. Pitch is outside, 2-0. Favorite things to say from Martinez? Cheese and crackers. Pitch is inside. It's 2-1 now. Last time up, Martinez, he walked and scored. 3 runs scored by Greensboro in the second. That's where we stand right now, 3-2. He hits this one down the left field line, but it goes foul. And it evens up the count, 2-2. Second ball game of the day will be about 1:30 this afternoon. That'll be Bay City, Michigan taking on Brownsville, Texas. Puerto Rico takes on the Netherlands at 4. Southern Illinois will be home against South Korea. That is the nightcap game. 6:30 p.m. here at Rent 1 Park. Full count now to Derek Martinez. Martinez attends Lucy Ragsdale High School. Fouls that one straight back. So we'll try again with the 3-2 count. 1 down, nobody on. Martinez, on his bio, says that he was interested in getting into chiropractor, to be a chiropractor. Got to have those. I like the chiropractor. Here's the 3-2, catches the outside corner, and Martinez strikes out, looking for the second out here in the 4th inning. So Luke Jenkins will stride in, the right fielder. Grounded out to the pitcher back in the second. Jake Vargas ran over and tagged the bag himself as first baseman was a little bit out of position. With 2 down here in the bottom of the 4th. The pitch from Vargas, low for a ball. 82-mile-an-hour fastball in the dirt. Pitch inside, and that catches Jenkins on his right knee. Hit by pitch, he's going to head to first, and that's going to bring up the second baseman, Devon Hawkins.
Second baseman, number 2, Devon Hawkins.
So 1 on here with 2 outs for Carolina. One ball, no, 1 strike, no ball to Tompkins. He singled his last time up. The 0-1 pitch from Vargas. Works from the stretch. Swung on and missed. And Jenkins slides into second with the stolen base. Oh, 2 count now to Tompkins with the man in scoring position. Jenkins at second. Ball is low. 1-2 the count. One, 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs with 1 on here for Greensboro. Pitch from Vargas. Swung on and missed. Ball was booted by the catcher. And Tompkins is able to outrun it. The ball's thrown up the first base line, and that is going to allow Jenkins to score all the way from second. As Tompkins took off and had to dive back in the bag, he's safe. So Jenkins scores all the way from second. Tompkins at first on the strikeouts, but the catcher couldn't handle it. That's going to bring us back to the top of the order for Greensboro. As the manager for Covina, California comes out, talks to the home plate umpire. That was a short conversation. So Noah Lee. He tripled his last time up, plugged the gap. He's got a runner at first. That's Tompkins in front of him. He's quick. So anything in the gap will probably score Tompkins. As Jake Vargas lined a ground ball to shorts. And that's going to retire the side to end the 4th inning. But Greensboro was able to put 1 across. As we're in the bottom of the 4th inning here at the Colt World Series between Covina, California and Greensboro, North Carolina. The bottom of the 4th, it's going to be Anthony Rasmussen leading off, and he takes the first pitch low for ball 1. 4-2 the score for Covina, and then Burns homered to start the game over the left field wall. Rasmussen scored the second run. That was back in the 2nd inning. He hits here in the 4th and is looking at a 2-0 count to lead things off here in the 4th inning. Tyler Marr still the pitcher, the left-hander. Misses inside 3-0. He's up to 69 pitches in the game. And on 4 straight, Rasmussen walks to lead off the bottom of the 4th. Pitchers here in the Pony League, they're on a pretty strict pitch count. It used to be it was based on the number of innings, and as we've reached that point, it looks like the coach from Greensboro, that is Brett Garrett, makes his way to the mound to go out and talk to his pitcher, Tyler Lamar. But they're on a pitch count here, and it's not. It used to be based on how many innings you had tossed, but here they use the actual number of pitches, and that is going to be it for Tyler Lamar. So Lamar threw 72 pitches. He's 15 to 16 years old, and at 72 pitches, that means he has a mandatory 3 days rest from pitching. Now, he can play positions, but he cannot pitch for 3 days. So now that would mean if they were to advance on, that he could play, well, he's actually done for the tournament. The tournament will wrap up on Wednesday. So Tyler Lamar won't be available on the mound for Greensboro, North Carolina, if they were to go on and win their way into play on Wednesday. We're going to take a break, see if we can catch who the relief pitcher is. We'll have that coming up. So the relief pitcher for Greensboro is going to be Chad Carpenter, number 16. He comes in here in the bottom of the 4th with nobody out, replacing Tyler Lamar. At the plate is Jarrod Robles. Hits from the right side. Pitch is in there for a strike to get things going. Jarrod Robles, a junior, 16-year-old. Bishop Mott Memorial High School is where he attends in Monrovia, California. Looks at strike 2, 0-2 now to Robles. With the runner at first in front of him, that's Rasmussen, who just walked. The 0-2 outside, 1-2 now. Robles 0-1 in the game. Struck out his first time up. That was back in the 2nd. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Carpenter. Swung on, grounded to the right side. First baseman Hairston grabs it, tosses to the pitcher, but he wasn't there in time, and so Jarrod Robles legs out a single. And now Covina, California have runners at first and second with nobody out, and back to the top of the order. And Nin Burns, who homered back in the first to lead off the game. The first home run hit out here at Brentwood Park in this tournament. He's got some power. Takes the first pitch, lays down a bunt. It's down the third base line, and they are going to get him on a throw at the last second. Beat him by a half step. Who's expecting Burns to lay down a bunt, but played well by Danelle to just catch Burns by half a step. And there's one down. That was a heck of a play by the third baseman from Greensboro. Danelle, Cody Danelle, strong throw for the first out. So Jake Vargas comes to the plate. Runners at second and third as they did advance on the sacrifice from Burns. As Vargas, his first pitch is fouled and out toward the seating area in right field. Man, that was a great play from Danelle to get Burns. As we said, who would have thought that Burns was going to lay down a bunt? But he does. He sacrifices both runners over. They're in scoring position with one out. Here's the pitch from Carpenter. Hit on the ground toward short in the hole. Long throw is in time as Rem gets Vargas by just barely. And the first base coach argues. The umpire says, you need to step away, coach. 6-4. Now, Rasmussen did score on that. And Robles winds up at third. So it's 4-3 now. Greensboro on top. Jake Vargas. That was in the hole. A strong throw from Rem as the slow curveball, 61 miles an hour, catches the inside corner. So Robles at third, 2 outs. Pitch right down the middle. 78-mile-an-hour fastball for a strike. Evens the count at 1-1. 4-3 the score. We've seen some dandy plays defensively from Greensboro. The first from Danelle, the second from the shortstop Rem. This one's in the dirt. 2 down. Chad Carpenter, the pitcher. The right-hander fires. Outside corner, strike 3, as Luke Willison watches that one go by for the third out. So we head to the top of the 5th inning, and Greensboro leads Covina 4-3. This is the 2018 Colt World Series. Cody Danelle will lead things off. C.J. Johnson will hit second. Isiah Hairston third for Greensboro. They lead it 4-3 here in the top of the 5th inning. Close ball game. Some great defensive throws made by the third baseman Danelle and Rem in that last half inning to get the runners by a half step each at first. Covina was able to score. Rasmussen scored 1. So it's 4-3. Pitch is fouled off down the right side. The count now on Danelle is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Decisions committee for all of the games today will include Randy Crompton, Stephanie Allen, Denny Doyle from Pony League. This one's driven towards center field in the air, and Kaito makes the catch for the first outs. Danelle flies out to center field. That's a defensive change. Chase Kaito is in center field. Where's number 27? So at the plate, C.J. Johnson, who is hitless in the game so far, struck out in the first, flew out in the third. Big left-hander takes strike 1. Pitch outside to even the count 1-1. So it's Pableo, Kaito, and Burns in the outfield. Pitch outside Ball 2. Reyes, Rasmussen, Munoz, and Montes around the infield. Montes just entered defensively as well. Lokar is at third for Covina. And Willison is still behind the plate. So it's Pableo, Kaito, Burns, Reyes, Rasmussen, Munoz, and Montes at first. Pitch is driven down the right field line. It's going to be foul. Look out, ladies. Look out, ladies. Look out. Man, right in the middle of some people walking down the concourse in right field there in the hot corner. That was a long fly ball, but foul. 3-2 the count to C.J. Johnson. Grounds this one to second. Munoz with it. Over to Montes for the second out of the inning.
Now batting, first baseman, number 7, Isiah Hairston.
Isiah Hairston steps in with 2 out here in the top of the 5th inning. Nobody on. Jake Vargas continues to pitch. Pitch outside for ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Outside 2-0. Colt catches the corner 1-1. 1-1 pitch just a touch low for 2-1. Here's the pitch from Vargas, fouled off, straight back. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 4-3. The score here in the top of the 5th inning. It's been an entertaining ball game. Saw our first home run of this tournament in the first. That's a nice way to start off a day right there. 2-2 pitch is on the way outside for 3-2 count. Now to Isiah Hairston. Grounded out to second in the first. He also grounded out to short in the third. Or excuse me, singled in the third. Was put out on a double play. This one's toward short as it gets underneath the glove of Rasmussen all the way out towards center field. So Isiah Hairston is on with a single as Rasmussen moving to his left. Ball just scooted right under his glove. That's going to bring up the shortstop, Isiah Bream. Flew out in the second, hit it into a double play back in the third. And he comes to the plate here in the 5th with 1 runner on in front of him, and that is Hairston. Hairston 0 for 2. Vargas his 77th pitch. 78th on the way. It's outside for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. Coming up, the next game will be Bay City, Michigan, taking on Brownsville, Texas. Pitch catches the outside corner, 1-1. 4 o'clock this afternoon will be Puerto Rico taking on the Netherlands. Netherlands, the defending champ, they won their game yesterday, 11-8 over Brownsville, Texas. The 1-1 pitch is fouled off, 1-2. Southern Illinois will take on South Korea. That'll be the final game of the evening. 6:30 is the scheduled start time. Great day here at Rent One yesterday. The Champions game that they did in between games in the evening for those with disabilities, that it was fantastic. All of the teams participating in the tournament were on the field. They were so supportive and cheering on the Champions team as they hit. They all got medals. Just a great deal that they do here at the World Series. Pitch gets away from Willison. He throws the ball into center field, and Isiah Hairston finds himself at third base. Wild throw from the catcher. As Burns is now catching. For Covina. So a runner at third. Pitch is outside. Full count. So Hairston's at third. 2 out, full count to Isiah Ram. Here's the pitch from Jake Vargas. From the stretch. Grounded towards short. Rasmussen up with it. Strong throw across, and first baseman Mero Montes can't handle it. It goes into the dugout, so that is going to give Ram second base. Hairston scores on the error from the shortstop, Rasmussen.
Now batting, the catcher, number 5, Justin Brady.
Justin Brady, the catcher, will step in. He was hit by a pitch in the second. Flew out to right field in the fourth. It is 5-3 now. Greensboro on top of Covina as we're in the top of the 5th inning. Brady hits from the left side. Pitch is driven down the line, but it's going to curve foul.
Please return all foul balls to the visit SI table. Table is located by the minors team store.
That one was down toward the hot corner as well. That's a busy place. You have to pay attention when you're watching any place in the park here at Rent One Park. It's a very intimate setting all around. See a breeze blowing out towards center here at Rent One. The clouds are, we'll call it partly cloudy skies here, as we're probably around 89 or so degrees. 5-3 the score. The 0-1 pitch hit on the ground to first as Mero Montes gets it, and he steps on the bag for the third out. But Greensboro is able to score one to extend that lead by 1. They head to the bottom of the 5th inning, and they lead it 5-3. This is the Colt World Series. Parker Miramontes hits here to lead things off. He fouls that one off for strike 1. Looks at a ball inside, evens the count at 1-1. Mero Montes wears number 4. Looks at a ball low, 2-1. Tyler Lokar is on deck, and if he gets on, it'll be Andres Reyes. Fouls that one at the plate. 2-2. Outfield playing straight away for Mero Montes. That one's hit down the line. It's going to be fair. One hops to the left fielder, but Mero Montes is going to be held to a single. A nice job out there by Lee to hold Mero Montes to just a long single, but a single nonetheless. And Covina gets their first batter on to start the bottom of the 5th as they are down by 2, 5-3. And that's going to bring up the third baseman, Tyler Lokar. He walked in the first, lined out to short in the third. He hits from the left side. Lokar wears number 22, and he's facing Chad Carpenter. This one is fouled off into the netting for 1 ball, or excuse me, for the first strike. Mero Montes gets his lead at first. The pitch from Carpenter is on the way. The 0-1. Swung on and missed by Lokar. 74-mile-an-hour off-speed pitch. Lokar steps out of the batter's box. Now steps right back in. He's ready to go. 0-2 the count. Carpenter, as Lokar bounces this one, the catcher gives it, grabs it, throws it to first, runs into the pitcher. Everybody is good. And a nice job digging that out by Hairston at first base. It does move Mero Montes to second. Tristen Pablio will be hitting here in the bottom of the 5th inning with a man in scoring position at second. That's Mero Montes. Chad Carpenter works from the stretch. This one's hit right back up the middle. This one may score. Mero Montes, no, it won't. He's going to be held up at third. So Pablio, Tristen, he singles right back up the middle on the first pitch. And that's going to have runners at the corners for Covina, California, the Westone champions. Looks like we're going to have a switch take place as Richard Graciano makes his way. It's going to be number 5. That is the pinch hitter, and that is going to be Jonathan Mendoza. He'll hit for Munoz. Mendoza will pinch hit. With 2 on, Mendoza hits from the right side. First pitch catches the outside quarter for a strike 1. Mendoza, 16-year-old junior, goes to Edgewood High School in Los Angeles, likes the Dodgers. Robinson Cano, as he faces a 1-strike pitch, hits this one on the ground to second. They throw to second to get that runner over to first, not in time. It drives in 1 as Mero Montes is able to score from third. Fielder's choice for Mendoza. Went 4-6 on the put out at second. So there's 2 down. Anthony Rasmussen will stride in. He scored twice. He singled back in the second. He walked in the 4th, but he scored 2 of the 4 runs. It's 5-4 now. This is just a great ball game between these 2 teams to start the day. 3rd day of the Colt World Series, as Rasmussen takes a big swing and whiffs on that 76-mile-an-hour fastball. That ball is lined right to short. Ram handles it easily for the 3rd out. So 1 run and done for the West Zone champs Covina, but they pulled to within 1. We've got a dandy ball game. It's 5-4 Greensboro as we head to the top of the 6th. It is 5-4. The right coast with the 1-run lead over the left coast. As Derek Martinez fouls that one off his foot, gets up, gimping just a little bit, trying to walk it off. Hit off his left ankle. Actually off the high part of the right ankle. As his coach, Brett Garrett, comes over, just checks on him, makes sure everything's okay. So he appears like he's okay. One ball, one strike to Martinez, the designated hitter. Walked in the second. Hits this one in the air towards center field. And it is Kaito that camps under it, makes the catch. So a long fly ball for the first out here to start things off in the top of the 6th inning for Greensboro. That's going to bring up right fielder Luke Jenkins. Jenkins grounded out in the second, was hit by a pitch in the 4th, hits here in the 6th. One ball, pitch on the way, driven right back up the middle. That's going to get down for a single by Jenkins. Hard hit. As a matter of fact, on the hop, it hits the center fielder right in his chest as he knelt down to field the ball. Has to block it with his chest. And Jenkins is on with a single. And it's going to bring up the second baseman, Tonkins. Devon Tonkins singled back in the second. He reached first on a drop third strike in the 4th. He scored 1 run. He's 0 for 1 in the game today. Jake Vargas still on the mound for Covina. They throw back. Oh, as they had Jenkins at first. The catcher threw down behind the runner, but the first baseman, Mero Montes, couldn't handle the throw, kind of bobbled it. If he handles it cleanly, they would have picked off Jenkins. But as it stands, he's got his left foot on the bag at first. So Tonkins is at the plate. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Vargas outside for ball 2. Two balls, no strikes. This one's high as Jenkins takes off. The throw is there and they get him at second base. A nice throw from Burns to gun down Jenkins, who was trying to steal. 2 down. That eliminates the base runner there. So Devon Tonkins. That was a nice throw from Burns. Then Burns. He does it all, doesn't he? Hit the ball out to start the game. Was started in right field. Make a dandy catch yesterday, bobbling one, and wound up coming up with the catch to make the out. And then he throws out a runner here. All around great athlete. It's been fun to watch. High chopper to third from Tonkins. The throw across is in time, and we are going to head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Here we go, bottom of the 6th inning for Covina, California, the Westone champs.
Number 34, Jarrod Robles.
Jarrod Robles steps in. The center fielder hits from the left side. Struck out in the second, singled in the 4th. And he looks at a strike to start things off here in the bottom of the 6th. It's 5-4 Greensboro with a 1-run lead. Covina, California, they need a run to tie. Swung on a miss from Robles. An account quickly 0-2. Look at the box score of the game so far. 5 runs, 4 hits, no errors for Greensboro. 4 runs on 6 hits, 5 errors in the game for Covina. Ball outside, runs the count to 1-2. 1-2 pitch. A little bit low. 2-2 evens the count. The 2-2 pitch swung on a miss at the high fastball, 76 mile an hour, and Robles strikes out. One down here. Bottom of the 6th inning. And that's going to bring Superman to the plate. That's Nin Burns. He hits home runs, plays a fantastic outfield, made a great catch in the gap to start early in the game. Threw out a runner for a catch as a catcher, and now he hits here in the bottom of the 6th inning on the inside pitch, just barely misses him. He spins out of the way. 1 ball. No strikes. Pitch down the middle, in for a strike. 1-1 from Chad Carpenter. Remains in the game. Carpenter's thrown 29 pitches. Worked 2 1/3 innings. This one is popped straight back. You'll hear it right there as it hits the roof above us. So it's 1 ball, 2 strikes with 1 out. That ball's outside. 2-2. Foul balls here if they're returned. You receive a $10 gift card to Dick's Sporting Goods. Strike 3 is Nin Burns. Burns stands and watches the 3rd strike for the 2nd out. I believe that may be the first time he struck out in this tournament. I have to look and see.
Third baseman, number 14, Vargas.
Burns did not strike out. This one's hit on the ground to 3rd. Danelle is there, throws across to get Jake Vargas. So 1, 2, 3 they go. In the bottom of the 6th inning, we're heading to the 7th. Greensboro leads by 1, 5-4. This is the Colt World Series. We're in the top of the 7th here at the Colt World Series, game number 9, and it's been a great ball game. 5-4, Greensboro leads Covina. Greensboro comes to bat here in the top of the 7th, and it's going to be the top of the order, Noah Lee, who leads things off. This one is fouled right at his feet for the 1st strike. 5 runs on 4 hits for Greensboro, no errors. Covina scored 4 runs on 6 hits with 5 errors. The 0-1 is foul tipped again, runs the count to 0-2. New pitcher for Greensboro, and that is number 22, Tyler Lokar. The 0-2 pitch, a little bit low for ball. 1-2 now. Lokar started the game at 3rd base. He slides over to close this one out in the 7th. And that ball is lined into center field. The diving Rasmussen couldn't get it. And so a single for Noah Lee to start things off in the top of the 7th inning. That's going to bring up Cody Danelle. So runner at first in Lee. Danelle is at the plate. Single in the 1st, struck out in the 2nd. He squares to bunt, puts the bunt down, and Lokar goes to 1st to get the easy outs. And the sacrifice is successful as it moves Lee over to 2nd, puts him in scoring position. So there's 1 down now in the top of the 7th. Covina is going to have a chance to tie or win the ball game in the bottom of the 7th. The hard-hitting C.J. Johnson steps into the plates from the left side. He's got 2 triples in the tournament so far. And they're going to intentionally walk Johnson so that they can face Isiah Hairston. So there's 2 on. Hairston grounded out in the 1st, singled in the 3rd, singled in the 5th, and he's here in the 7th, and he lines this one to the shortstop. They get the catch, and they double off Lee at 2nd. The liner to Rasmussen, and then he tosses to 2nd to get Lee, and that ends the top of the 7th for Greensboro. Nice play defensively by Rasmussen. For the 2nd out, he catches the liner, throws back to 2nd base to get Lee for the 3rd out. Here we go, bottom of the 7th inning. Covina needs 1 run to tie, 2 to win it. Big momentum switch there in the top of the 7th inning. Will it carry over to the offense on this side? They're down 5-4 to Greensboro, North Carolina. And on the mound is Chad Carpenter for Greensboro. If he can close it out, Greensboro will win. If not, we'll have to wait and see what happens here in the bottom of the 7th. So at the plate is Luke Willison, the catcher. Struck out in the 1st, singled in the 2nd, struck out in the 4th. Comes up here in the bottom of the 7th. They need base runners. Willison is 1 for 3 here so far. Looks at a ball low, evens or puts the count at 1-2 to the catcher. Chad Carpenter, the right-hander, works from the stretch, steps off as Willison asked for timeout, had something in his eye. We appreciate you watching. This has just been a fantastic baseball game between these 2 teams. Will determine where they go in the tournament after this. That one hits Willison on his left shoulder, and you need base runners. But he's in a lot of pain as it hit him right on the elbow. He tries to shake it off. He's able to walk his way with his coach, has his hand on his shoulder, says, come on, you can do this. I think he's okay. He's moving that around, hit by pitch. So that's going to bring up Parker Mero Montes to the plate with a runner on here in the bottom of the 7th. So this is game 9. The winner of this will play tomorrow at 8 o'clock. The loser of this game will be done, I do believe. The winner moves on to play at 8 o'clock tomorrow evening. And the winner will play the loser of the Southern Illinois South Korea game that takes place at 6:30 tonight. So win here and you continue, lose, and your tournament is done. So at the plate now, Mero Montes, the first baseman from the right side, singled his first time up as Willison is at the plates. Mero Montes takes a strike. No balls, 1 strike, nobody out. This is the bottom of the 7th inning in a 5-4 game. Greensboro lead it over Covina. The ball is low. Nice stop by the catcher, Brady, for Greensboro. 5 runs on 5 hits for Greensboro, no outs, or no errors rather. 4 runs on 6 hits, 5 errors. This one's hit on the ground foul down the third base line. So Willison is going to have to return to first base as he's carrying that left arm very gingerly. Doesn't really look like he wants to move it a whole lot. So Chad Carpenter on the mound, works from the stretch. The 1-2 pitch swung on and pulled foul once again. Keeps the count at 1-2 here in the bottom of the 7th. Big defensive play by Covina, California to top of the 7th as they double off to end the inning. Greensboro had runners at first and second with 1 out. A line drive to short. And it was Rasmussen that caught the liner, throws to second, and doubled them off to end the inning. We have timeout here as the officials are getting together. I think it has something to do with Willison and his elbow. Maybe not. As Richard Graciano, the head coach and manager of this Covina team, comes over to find out what's going on. Willison seems to be in quite a bit of pain still, over on standing on first base. I don't understand what the discussion would be. If he's hurting that bad, you could pinch run for him, and I think that's what's going to happen here as number 35, Daniel Jarrod, rather.
Covina, California, first base, number 35,
Joel Jarrod is going to pinch run for Willison. So he's on for Willison. At the plate, it's 1-2 to Parker Montes. Montes 1 for 1, hits this one toward second, could be 2. The flip to second for 1, on to first for 2. As Greensboro turns the double play, eliminates the threat here, and it sets up 2 down for Tyler Lokar, who will come to the plate. 4-6-3 on the double play.
Now batting, the pitcher, number 22, Tyler Lokar.
2 down. Chad Carpenter on the mound faces Tyler Lokar. Lokar hitless in the game today. Looks at ball 1 high. He's 1 for 1. This one is hit toward the hole in second. Tompkins can't handle it, and so that's going to be a single. So life for Covina, California after the infield single by Lokar. Tristen Pableo will be coming to the plate. Number 3. Infield single by Lokar to keep the inning going. Five to 4 the score. This one's popped up. Right shallow. C.J. Johnson makes the catch in shallow center field to end the game. And Greensboro, North Carolina knocks off Covina, California 5-4